Well, currently, I'm fishing the best lake I have ever fished at for carp. The reason I fish and always come back to fishing is the unknown. The one that got away, the lake you dream of visiting, and the species you've not yet discovered. Back in 2014, my brother and I stepped aboard a plane destined for Detroit, USA. Little did we know we'd discover an untapped paradise of carp fishing opportunities waiting to be explored. Over the coming years, our new American friends, Brendan, Austin, and Brian, invited us back numerous times, fishing the most spectacular waters and landing carp we'd only dream of back home. Ever since our first visit to the States, there'd always been a location echoing around our conversations. This is Blackfoot Reservoir, an enormous body of water, almost 7,000 feet above sea level. We believed it a step too far, a trip just too expensive, too distant, and as a result, too risky. However, I think it's the risk that sets my heart racing, the what if. So in June this year, we finally decided to do it. We packed our suitcases because this spring we were going into the unknown. Whoa. Just like our previous adventures, it all began at the airport. Let's go to America, Alex.
Let's go to the U.S.A.
Starting at London Heathrow, our destination was Idaho Falls in northwest United States.
First flight. We're halfway there. We've got one more flight to take.
Meanwhile, our friends had also begun their journey. Somewhat longer and more tiring, they had over 25 hours of driving ahead of them. Travelling almost 2,000 miles through 7 states, it was a drive like nothing you'd encounter in Europe.
Plane number 2.
Two days later, our friends arrived at the reservoir and began exploring.
I don't know where Austin is. We haven't heard from him yet.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello, Austin.
How you doing? Good to see you again. Yeah, you too, man.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
All right, you guys ready to do it?
Let's go.
Where are we going? Blackfoot Reservoir. Oh, hey!
Leaving civilization. For 2 weeks.
Should I be saying something? What should I be doing?
No, just drive us. Just don't crash.
Okay, I think we can make it there.
After a few hours of driving down increasingly smaller and less well-kept roads, we arrived at the lake.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Let me put my seatbelt on so you don't hear the chiming every 3 seconds. That and it's probably just safe anyway. All right, here we go.
We stopped on some flat grass and pitched up for the night.
I can't really say much about the view because I can't see anything. It's pitch black. It's about 2 in the morning. The guys have been driving for the last 24 hours. We've been traveling for the last day and we need to sleep. Otherwise I will not function. So I'm gonna get in this sleeping bag and zonk out. Zonk out is that a word?
Yeah, that works. I'm gonna zonk out as well, actually. Right, unpacking the bags is a little bit different. Out here, it's all in my suitcase. Reels.
check out that. I feel quite lost, to be honest, out here. This is easily the vastest, most wild looking place I've ever been.
I'll be honest, it was overwhelming. Where do you start when trying to unlock a venue like this? We decided to visit the nearest town to get supplies, and on the way, begin to understand this lake a little better.
Well, this morning I woke up and looked out at this view out there, and I was like, well, this lake is massive, and I've just checked the map, and it actually extends way beyond that, like 10 times that. And then the same again this side, it goes right up.
Whilst we had fished large lakes in the past, this felt different. Perhaps it was the cold, moody weather, but my confidence was definitely faltering. We need licenses, maybe some waders. Oh yeah.
That's it.
And a cowboy hat. If you put them on, could you get far enough out into the lake to net a fish?
If there's no wave action coming towards us, yes.
That's good.
The fish will never see us. I found what we need.
Oh, so cute.
Hello. Only in America can you come and get gardening equipment, clothes, sweets, a chicken and a gun, all at the same shop. We purchased our fishing licenses from a gas station, where for some reason the workers were quite excited to see us.
The woman at the till, she was literally, I've seen English people in movies,
yeah.
but I've never.
We are in small town western U.S.A.
We're having a look around the lake. It's too big to walk around, so we have to take the car, and we're just checking out a few likely looking spots. There's a river flowing in here, and that's always an interesting place to look.
I would almost feel like off of the back side of this, where we saw all those whitefish and trout, well, what we think are whitefish and trout topping, would be better than being actually up in this inlet right here.
Yeah, because that runoff is really
It's
cold, probably.
It's gonna be very cold. It's coming from high, and it's probably snow melt.
It is a nice area, but I want to see something before we get too established in an area.
You have a nice day. The fish. Oh, did you see that one come right out of the water, right over there to the left?
Yes!
I would fish there.
Did you see it, Brian?
I know, I was looking down on the ground.
Brian's been here 24 hours and has yet to see a carp crash.
Oh, another one to the...
Oh, there it goes again, yeah.
Having seen fish crashing in the distance not far from our camp, we decided we ought to get our tackle set up and start fishing.
So typical, isn't it? The rain's coming down. We've just got our stuff underneath. We've just got suitcases and camera kit and everything underneath our tent. Just unpacking. Are the rods in one piece? That one is.
This one's in two pieces.
No, I think it's meant to be like that.
Hey.
Carl's just doing some marker floating, trying to find a depth in the area.
Using my marker rod and dragging the lead back across the bottom, it seemed shallow, with a soft silt or sand on the lake bed. There were clumps of weeds emerging, but not enough to cause us issues presenting our baits.
What are your observations?
I can't seem to find more than 3 foot of water. I can't cast far enough to get into 4 or 5 feet deep water. I've seen a few more carp crash a long way out. All I know is it's freezing. I'm soaked. I can't feel my hands. Somewhat more optimistic than myself, our American friends got to work casting their rods out. I'll be honest, I wasn't happy with how shallow our bay was. I didn't feel the fish would feed here unless it got a lot warmer. Still, we hadn't seen fish crashing anywhere else on the lake, so I joined in with blasting rods out into the abyss, basically as far as I could cast.
Quite cold, isn't it?
As usual when fishing in the USA, our go-to approach is to fish with pack bait, a breadcrumb-based method mix wrapped around the lead. It's cheap and worked incredibly well.
This is horrible. How's that duvet? I mean,
Sleeping bag.
sleeping bag.
It's the worst sleeping bag in the world. And don't ever get one.
That's a bite. That is screaming.
Waking him from a midday snooze, Brendan had received the first bite of the trip. I don't think any of us were ready for it to come off.
Oh my god.
Especially as we hadn't yet seen what it was. The lost fish was gutting, but on the bright side, it showed fish were willing to feed in this area, and there could be more nearby.
I didn't bring enough clothes with me. Didn't bring enough warm clothes. I thought coming over here would be warm, but it's not.
Tied some rigs the other day.
You was gonna say, what are you doing?
Tie more rigs.
At this stage, there wasn't much else to do. With the heavy rain and freezing temperatures, we basically just stayed in our tents and began wondering if we'd timed the trip completely wrong. Our U.S.A. sessions are normally targeted at pre-spawn fish, meaning we want to arrive as the water is warming and the carp are feeding, but haven't yet begun spawning.
It doesn't stop raining. Ever.
If carp reproduction is in full swing, you won't catch, as they're preoccupied and don't feed. The window of opportunity is normally around May, June time, but Blackfoot is far north and at high altitude. I think it was just way too cold for the fish to be waking up.
What are you gonna do, Austin?
About to check the water temperature. I'm kind of scared what we're about to see.
Brian lowered in his thermometer, hoping for temps of 55 Fahrenheit or higher.
Oh wow, thanks guys.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully they're good.
If there's one thing to cheer you up on a day like today, it's
Hot food.
hot dogs.
All right, get yourself some, Carl.
And he retreats back into his bivvy.
My hands say it's pretty cold.
Let's see what the scientific thing says.
It is not good.
Oh,
It is 48 degrees.
48.
It's 48 degrees. That's crazy. That's lower than I thought, actually. This, as of last week, it was 54, so it's gone down 6 degrees.
Going down into June.
It's gone down 6 degrees in June.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and catch dinner, and I'm also gonna try and find some carp.
Both of those things would be good.
Yeah. Let's go on a long hike that way. Wow. That's one big animal.
It's day 3. I'm sitting in my bivvy. It's freezing cold and the rain still hasn't stopped. And that's my report finished. I wouldn't say that my sleep has been particularly good. A mix of jet lag and ice cold weather and nervousness, a little bit of anxiety around whether or not this trip is going to pay off. No signs of fish at the moment. The carp that were crashing on the first day, they're gone. We're not entirely sure where. Alex has gone for a walk to try and find them. I went out in the kayak to try and find them. No such luck.
Still walking.
and I've been walking for about 2.5 hours. I've sort of followed a path which has taken me away from the lake. But I think this joins back up to the lake near an inlet where I'm gonna try and catch a trout. Wonder if there's any fish in that. Might as well give it a go. Of course not. I feel safe. Perfectly safe. I caught no fish. My legs hurt, so I'm walking back to base camp.
I won't lie, the trip was starting to look just a little bit depressing. We certainly hadn't forked out £3,000 for flights just to go on a 5-mile freezing cold hike.
That's the first bit of sun I've seen in 3 flipping days. Things are looking a little bit nicer.
As Alex walked back towards camp, he passed a large bay. Protected from the wind, the surface was calm, and some fish were causing ripples a long way out. He also made another discovery.
Whoa.
A large mirror carp dead in the margins. Back at camp, however, I'd had a strange indication on my left-hand rod. It didn't feel like a carp though.
What? Is it? Sweet, we might be able to keep that. Oh yeah, is that a whitefish?
Alex might have failed to catch while spinning, but a perfect-sized rainbow had taken a liking to my corn hook bait.
You know what that looks like? That looks like dinner. Yeah, you know it. I'll do a carp rod. Oh, that was weird.
We warmed up our hands, ready to prepare the fish for lunch, and Alex told Brian and Austin about the fish that he'd seen further up the lake.
What are you going to do, slice them into little bits? Yeah, problem is this knife isn't sharp. Oh.
As base camp seemed devoid of carp, Brian and Austin decided to go and explore.
This is mission catch a carp.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be mission success. So yeah, this huge bay right here. And they were like everywhere all back here. Wow. There was one right there. Yeah? Yeah. There I think is it. Dude, did you see the body on that? Yeah.
Can you stop the music for a second?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Dude, they're all over the place. Alright.
There's a few carp around here, man.
There and there from this entire stretch here.
They're all the way down there. They're all the way down there. They're close in. They're far out. Oh, we're on.
Dude, right there.
So close.
They're close in over here.
Right, there's more carp here than I've seen in my life.
Yeah, dude, it's non-stop over here.
You have a purpose in life.
See, for the first time ever.
Oh, line is on this one as well. Yeah, both of these 2 rods are twitching. Oh, that's a chunky one.
The rods were out and confidence was sky high, but back at camp, Alex had just begun cooking the trout when one of Brendan's rods screamed off again. However, despite about 1 million carp jumping, we'd not had a single bite in the new spot.
The guys are still down there by the lake. I've come back to the car because I just got way too cold. I just find it unbelievable that with so many carp crashing in front of you, you can still not get a single bite.
We stuck at it for another 2 hours, but in the end gave up as the fish seemed to drift away.
Well, that wasn't worth it.
No, they just left. I don't know where they went either.
Driving back to camp, we weren't expecting such positive news from Brendan.
So I've got 3 just now.
3? Wow.
Brendan's session was well and truly off the ground, with 3 incredible carp. To make me even more jealous, Alex had already cooked up his
golden crispy trout nuggets
and somehow managed to eat all of them before we'd returned.
It's been going crazy since the sun started shining.
It was clear that although the carp weren't crashing at base camp, this was where we needed to be fishing.
Sounds like there's a swarm of bees or a helicopter in the distance.
I've never seen this many before.
I'm kind of worried about tonight. The weather finally got nice, but that has brought us other problems. Quite satisfying on the hand when you put your hand through it. It's not going to be satisfying when they've stung our entire bodies.
Luckily, Austin had preempted the mosquito problem and bought some thermocell repellers.
I didn't want to break it. Did it come out with the whole thing?
The place we went earlier, there was thousands of carp jumping, but for some reason we couldn't get a bite. Over here though, not really very many fish jumping at all. But the bites are coming. It's a really old one, I'm sure.
That's what we came here for. Big scaly mirrors.
Wow, man, that's not bad.
We'd now landed 5 carp from Blackfoot and every one was a mirror. This wouldn't be a surprise in the UK, where mirrors make up for around half of my captures.
That's cool.
However, on all our previous US trips, mirror carp was super rare. In most cases, we'd land 50 commons for each mirror, so Blackfoot was quite the anomaly. We weren't complaining though, as each fish was very individual and of a great average size.
Bye. This place is incredible. You cast out into 17,000 acres and you get a bite, and it's a upper 20 mirror. Tonight is going to be interesting.
Alex, have you seen how many mosquitoes there are?
Yeah, I counted about 2,560,000.
I think you're just paranoid. I don't see any bugs.
What type of glasses are they?
Cool ones.
Mate, this is not nice.
It does look pretty crazy when you look through it.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Alex and Austin were still trying to figure out the thermocell mosquito deterrent things. Meanwhile, I set up the generator to charge our camera batteries and grab my marker rod so we could bait up our spot.
Brian, he's already got one in the bucket.
Goodbye, Austin.
Goodbye.
We've had a few bites so far, but introducing some bait should kick things off a bit more. Whoa, this scoop thing is kind of rubbish.
Baiting up with a few handfuls of boilies on a lake like this would be like trying to put out a forest fire with an egg cup full of water. To try and actually make a difference, I introduced around 30 kilos of maize and oats over an area the size of half a football pitch.
Oh, it went down my leg.
Yeah, perfect.
It's beautiful, golden. Yeah, just thought I'd fly the drone because it's stunning. I'm hoping I don't crash it. I've only ever crashed a drone 3 times before.
Only?
Yeah.
It wasn't just Alex's drone in the sky that evening. As the repellent devices weren't really working, I got started lighting a fire.
That didn't really light very well. For a lake which has got no trees in any direction for about 2 miles, it was surprisingly easy to find loads of firewood. Well, Brian, you never disappoint us. Just loads of driftwood that's washed up. So we're gonna get this going, and hopefully the smoke puts off the mosquitoes as well.
Yeah, they're getting there. I think I said one more good crisp on the bottom.
That spatula's just getting sadder and
It's getting harder and harder to move these.
I'm just amazed that you were even calling it a spatula. Is that the only thing you guys forgot though?
Spatula and fillet knife. Those are the 2 things that we forgot.
That's not bad.
Could have forgotten the fishing rods, could have forgotten bite arms, we could have forgotten one of us. Could have forgotten a whole lot of things.
You could have left Brian at home. That wouldn't have been a problem.
Now that you're absolutely right.
That would not have been good, from my perspective at least.
Ooh. Cool, this is nice, isn't it? This is literally what I dream of. Stuff like this, scenery like this, fire, food, friends.
It's safe to say we were living the dream, except perhaps for the mosquitoes, which plagued our sleep that night.
Welcome to Austin's 5 Michelin star restaurant.
We have got eggs cooking on this pan, and then we have got some bacon cooking over there. And then we're going to just have bacon and eggs. That's about all there is. We gotta season the product.
We're probably all going to be very malnourished by the end of these 2 weeks.
Probably, especially if Carl keeps eating just one egg when he decides to eat.
With the sun shining, we finally had a chance to dry our clothes. Alex, though, had different ideas.
Very extravagant, Alex. I bet it feels like ice. I've got to get in there at some point and wash myself as well. There is a limit to the number of days you can do on the bank without cleaning off.
It had been almost a year since I'd fished for carp with Alex, so to have my rods out alongside his brought a big smile to my face.
This is wild. There's 3 fish on at once.
1, 2, 3. We are absolutely hauling them today.
I've got these shoes on, which are very loose, and if I walk out to the spot, they get stuck in the silt, and then they fall off, so I have to run across, and almost run across the water. I'm trying to justify why I look like a crazy man whilst getting that rod, but I got a bit overexcited. Sun's shining, we're catching a lot of carp today. I think they've just all moved into the shallow water.
Because of the sun.
It got so warm.
I don't understand how each trip that we do to the United States, the carp fishing just gets progressively better.
Scaly Blackfoot beauty right there.
The target of my first 40-pound American carp was in mind, but for now, I was just happy to be fishing with my brother again.
Oh, look at that, 2 big fish.
Yes, Alex, they are fish. I know you haven't seen them for a little while.
Can I put mine down? My arm's hurting.
Yeah. Mushrooms don't weigh very much, do they, Alex?
They don't. We're running low on food and we're all really hungry, and I'm gonna have to catch some fish, otherwise we're all gonna starve and die. I'm trying to be like Bear Grylls, Carl. I'm trying to make it sound serious.
Bye.
Thank you. I'll try and come back with dinner.
You better do, Alex, because otherwise we're all gonna starve.
Once on the water, Alex noticed something that we couldn't see from the shore. The murky depths gave way to crystal clear shallows, and a shoal of carp in the thousands became visible.
Oh yes, first cast. Oh, it's come off. That was a little bass.
Oh, no.
Crossed you?
No, there's a snag.
Ah.
You reel it in.
I'll make a mental note of that. I'll go catch another one out, and I'll work my way back around.
Reel it in now.
No,
There's a snag there.
Brian, I think I might take my.
Mate,
I think I might take my
I'm a
chance.
local expert.
I believe you.
Joking aside, we were actually getting quite hungry. The nearest town was a fair drive away, and we were all hoping Alex would return with fish for dinner.
Oh wow. Oh no. We're being towed along by a fish. It's actually pulling me really fast. I think I might have accidentally snagged the carp.
Interestingly, for most American anglers, a snagged carp is the closest they'll ever come to our European style of fishing. It's amazing that they have so many incredible waters, but very little desire to catch the species that we love so much.
I'm actually kind of glad it came off because that would have been way too much to deal with. Oh yes. No, you can't do that. Oh yeah, and again. Whoa, look at that. So cool.
The sun's setting on another incredible day at Blackfoot. I've got another beautiful linear in the net.
Not realising that Alex had caught a bass, Austin decided to start targeting dinner too.
I'm trying to catch a trout, unsuccessfully. I have no idea how to fish for them. Alex told me to use shiny little things, kind of like that. So, trying something. I've been seeing a lot of little fish kind of surfacing and eating bugs in the bay, so I figured I'd give it a shot.
Dusk began to fall and Alex was in his element. I can totally see that fishing for food is what motivates him now, whereas for me, a 40-pound carp was becoming my sole focus.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting to catch some really nice smallmouth whilst out here. I didn't even know there were any bass in this lake until today. Oh, look at that.
Crikey.
Not a bad way to end the day. Oh wow. Look at that sunset. It's insane.
That last bass was a little big, according to Alex, so we ate the smaller ones from earlier in the day.
Wait. And to finish the cake, the cherry goes on top. Oh, you're filming, sorry.
Brian took it right off, he's like, naughty boy.
So spiritual.
It is.
That evening we engaged in what has become a bit of a tradition on our US trips, preparing deep-fried fish in breadcrumbs.
Yum.
It was surreal to think that the last time I ate this dish was 4 years ago on our last trip. A lot had happened in this time. Between us we'd quit jobs, lost jobs, started new journeys, fallen in love, experienced heartbreak and setbacks. But here we were again, just 5 friends who enjoy fishing, spending quality time by the water.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, like
Mobile, aluminum, garage, algae, buoy, trash, water, tomato, banana.
Why did you say banana properly?
yeah.
Banana.
Some other ones.
Oh, you just rinsed the whole alphabet.
Yeah,
You just went
all
through
of-
them all.
It's Tuesday. Just do the CH.
40.
That night had reminded me of our last visit to the States, and in particular, a session we did at a forest lake in Michigan. It was there that I took probably my favourite photo ever, a shot of the 5 of us each holding a 30-pound common. In my life, I've never had a fishing trip like that one, so deep down I hoped that on this visit to Blackfoot, we might be able to recreate that classic photo, but this time with 30-pound mirrors. That morning was slow, with few bites materialising, but after some games to pass the time, the action hotted up once more. I've never fished anywhere like Blackfoot before. I had 35 bites that day, which was incredible, but the big fish I dreamed of was beginning to seem unlikely. Some days we'd land more than 100 carp between us, but with no really big ones to show for our efforts, you could say we were losing interest a little.
No, one stone at a time. Come on, guys. Do you guys need me to do it for you? Thanks. There you go.
Are you kidding me? 10 bonus points for Carl, I guess.
Now he's gonna be stoked.
We all started this trip fishing with corn, maize, tiger nut hook baits. It's what these guys use on pretty much all the waters they fish, especially as they are feeding loads of maize and often feeding tiger nuts when they're pre-baiting as well. However, this session is going
a little bit too good. I know that sounds crazy, but we're getting so many bites. It's actually proving kind of difficult to have a moment to sit down, which is a great problem to have. What we're thinking though is that if we switch out these smaller corn hook baits for some boilies, I brought some on the plane with me, big 20mm boilies, I got a feeling that some of the smaller fish won't be able to get that in their mouth, and we might end up catching some bigger ones, or at least having a better average size. So I've made up a couple of balls of pack bait with massive hook baits. Obviously I've had to scale the hook size up as well. I've gone to a size 4. No, I was on a size 4. Now I'm using a size 2. Probably the biggest hook I've ever used for carp, ever. But when we're getting this many bites, we want to try and find the bigger ones. Scaling up the hook size and the bait is hopefully going to do something. With renewed confidence in our change of tactics, the targets were in sight. Work our way through the 20-pounders and catch that 40. Failing that, we were going to work hard to land a 30-pound mirror each and recreate the photo from before. This is on the big bait.
Oh man.
Yes, please. That is a very, very nice carp.
Yes.
Bigger bait, it did it.
Yes.
That'll do. Wow. What a beast. He's got really long barbules as well. At 33 pounds, this was my best fish of the trip so far, and proof that bigger baits had selected a larger fish. The air pressure began to drop quickly, and the wind grew stronger. This was big fish weather, and we needed to make the most of it. Oh, it's huge.
Right as the front came through. Okay, dude, he fought so hard. I think that's definitely my biggest fish of the trip so far.
Resting the fish in the net, we aimed to clear up the mess the storm had caused in our camp. Meanwhile, Alex contributed to it. During the hour or two where the winds gusted towards us, all the rods went, resulting in countless quality carp and a very memorable day of fishing.
Woohoo! Look at that. Really old fish, this one.
Got eggs in them as well, the females.
Yeah, definitely.
He's gonna feel like $1 million after that.
After the storm, I headed out in the kayak to bait up again. As the sun set on day 7 of our trip, I couldn't help but wonder, would an even larger hook bait pick out an even bigger fish? Do you think that'll do the trick?
Oh my god! The thing is this is probably gonna work.
As you can imagine, with such a massive bait, I didn't get many bites that day, leaving me to pass time playing games with my bro, who turns out to be quite accurate at throwing. Maybe a little too accurate. Finally receiving a bite on the giant string of boilies, we were all curious to see what sort of fish had managed to get that huge bait in its mouth.
This is the best fish of the trip by far.
Oh yeah, that looks decent.
That's a nice, that's what you were after, dude.
Oh!
Heck yeah.
That's 36.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's a good one.
36 and a half.
Oh,
Pretty close.
that was a good guess. That's my biggest of the trip so far. This isn't quite the 40-pounder that was sort of the big target that I'd love to get, but it was pretty close. And seeing as my tactical change had worked so well, I felt quite confident that the next day, one of us might catch a 40-pounder. We baited up as usual and woke up expecting to catch. This day though was different. By midday, we'd not had a single bite and only seen a couple of fish which cruised past in just inches of water. Our bay seemed devoid of life, so Alex wandered around a mile to our left, and what he found was incredible. We've witnessed carp spawning in the UK, and it's a sight to behold, but this was on another level. Literally thousands of carp thrashing around in the shallow, weedy margins of the reservoir. That said, now the spawn had begun, our Blackfoot trip was over. The carp wouldn't be feeding, and my hopes of a US 40-pounder were dampened. However, the boys had another plan. We backed up our footage and packed away our camp.
Goodbye, Blackfoot. We just about fit in the car, don't we? Three of us in the back.
We didn't realise we were going to be packing up and starting another journey halfway through the first journey.
You guys ready?
Keep going, right there.
Dust and debris in it.
Maybe the dust on the trailer hitch itself.
Hey!
Hey, there we go.
Nice. All right,
Alright, the pin going? Yeah.
Nothing like a bit of brute strength.
Bit of muscle.
Yeah.
Back home in England, everybody just fixes things with hammers.
Duct tape and hammers.
Yeah.
That's the play.
Job done.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Let's hit the road.
4-hour drive.
4-hour drive, a Walmart stop on the way for some meats, and then a truck stop on the way for a quick shower. So.
A shower.
Yeah, we're gonna be all fresh by the time we get there, so be nice.
Yeah, what are those hooks, man?
Oh, you know, just bottom of the barrel.
So do you have no Korda ones left over?
No, I don't think I do, actually.
Where's the lightning gone? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you see, I can do things.
Can you make us catch a 50 in a little bit?
I'll try.
It's pretty crazy weather right now.
The wind and rain was so bad I was concerned for my filming equipment in the back of the truck.
I have clothes back there. In the back.
We can see nothing out there.
Wow. And now it's probably in the next 20 minutes, probably gonna be sunny again.
The drive took approximately 6 hours, with our destination being CJ Strike Reservoir. We'd seen photos online of fish to over 60 pounds that had been bowfished from this lake, so the stakes were high. It was interesting to see the landscape change from mountains and hills to desert broken up by the mighty Snake River.
Jumbo's beer, bait and bullets. Welcome to America.
It's a lot of water in front of us, and we have no idea what we're pulling up to right now. We could cast this whole area, and it could be just horrible, and we have to go somewhere else.
That's all 3 foot. Oh, guys, just there.
Closer to all of that.
That bit looks good.
Yeah.
That bit looks really good. Right, let's head up there.
Yeah.
Oh!
Whoa. Okay. We're at range.
So
Oh dear.
we just walked up to another spot that we think we might fish, and right at our feet, literally, decent dead carp. So I mean, I guess they're here.
It is actually.
The guys are just checking depths of different spots. Does seeing fish jumping mean that you're going to catch?
No, not. We learned the other day that that's not the case.
This is really exciting. We've just arrived at the new reservoir. As we were driving into the shallow end, we've actually seen carp crashing. I have butterflies, like the early days when I used to go fishing, like some of my first ever fishing sessions, I used to just, my stomach would just go with, you know, with nerves and excitement of what the session could hold. I haven't had that for a long time.
Did you hear that storm? That's gonna hit us.
So are we waiting it out?
Yeah.
And then getting rods out?
Yeah, we're gonna wait it out.
The area we'd be fishing was a shallow point jutting out into the lake. Whilst this whole bay seemed no more than 10 foot deep, in the distance we could see a channel. Apparently this is very deep and connects to the rest of the reservoir on the other side. With the storm having passed, we got to work setting up camp again, thunder still echoing across the landscape.
Definitely a little bit sketchy over here.
The night produced no fish, so in the morning we explored the main body of the lake.
There's a lot out here.
In this new area, the water was clearer, and after an hour of searching we found a shoal of large carp. One fish in particular looked enormous, quite possibly the 40-pounder I so desperately wanted.
Thing is, where we were earlier in the arm, every single fish was small. Here, we looked out, we saw small ones, medium ones, and then also that one really big one. And the fact that there's a variation in size means there's male and female fish here. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Look at this. We all set up here last night. All that effort, taking everything out of the trailer, setting all that kit up, casting rods out. And then the boys find some big fish elsewhere. So all of this has got to pack away and we've got to go somewhere else. What are you eating for breakfast?
Pot noodle.
That is so weird.
What are you eating for breakfast?
Coffee.
With some questionable nutrition in our systems, we headed over to the new spot.
Look at this place. This is where Carl and I are going to camp out and fish tonight. We basically chose this spot because it's got shade.
Actually, Alex, I'd chosen this spot because I'd seen carp here and found around 10 foot of water close to a very deep drop-off.
Oh, that's heavy.
Carl's off the bait up. We found baiting up in the US so important. When I was at Dale Hollow 3 years ago, we didn't catch anything for the first 3 days, but after putting bait in, like quite a lot of bait for 3 whole days, the fish started to realize there was food there and they started feeding. I think it's because these American carp, they're not used to eating fisherman's bait. Like they're not used to eating corn or boilies or anything like that. And it just needs some time to get used to it. And then once they know that there's a food source there, then you start catching fish. There is nothing more refreshing on a super hot day than a watermelon, and so I'm very glad that Carl picked this up at Walmart yesterday. Do you want to go for this one? Or should I?
Thanks, bro.
There you go.
Mmm.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
We're gonna faint. It is sweltering hot out here, and melon is the answer.
It is just the best thing ever.
The heat was becoming unbearable. Even the animals seemed to be trying to hide away. I was glad to have baited up already, as the lake was becoming rough as an ocean. Just as I felt these conditions should do us a bite, Austin hooked one.
And it's recording. On a sig. In some wild conditions. I can't even get the net.
It was only small, maybe 4 or 5 pounds, but we were off the mark at CJ Strike. Perhaps the next bite could be 10 times larger. As quick as the wind started, it faded away, leaving behind a tranquil evening.
Sausages for dinner.
We're running out of SD card space, Carl.
Only a few hours after the wind came through and turned the lake into a wavy inland sea, now it's lovely and calm again. It's been such a strange day out here. I actually slept quite a lot of today because it was just so hot and just sapped my energy entirely. In the morning we tracked down some fish, we found some big ones, and the rods are out now, and I've just had a drop back. See that? That's really strange. It could be that fish are actually starting to feed on the balls of packed bait, or it could be crayfish or catfish or something like that. But yeah, we know there are huge carp in this water, potentially bigger carp than are in the UK. Definitely bigger fish than I've ever caught before, so tonight I might not sleep too well. The following morning, the carp arrived on the bait. There wasn't 1 or 2 of them either. Somehow I'd set up exactly where many hundreds of carp were due to appear.
Oh, you're kidding! What do I say? What is there to say? It was just going.
It was Carp 2, Carl 0.
It's such strange behaviour because normally you'd get a bite like that and the fish would be on. But here I'm getting savage bites and the fish are just falling off straight away.
Whilst I sat in the relative comfort of a shady tree, our buddies were out in the 40-degree heat in a spot with no shade. They were catching though, albeit fairly small ones. A 15-pound common was the best fish for Brendan, but other than a heavy fish that I lost, I really struggled for the 2 days we spent at CJ. With our friends burning in the sun and me blanking, we decided it was time to explore elsewhere.
It's been a long day.
It's been a hot day.
Hot day. Had some decent fish, but it's just not a spot to stay at. We need to head somewhere else.
Looking at the map, we noticed that CJ Reservoir was formed by damming the Snake River. Having heard rumours the Snake River contained massive sturgeon, we decided to take a closer look. Being out here in a desert, the last thing I expected was to find a powerful current of cold, clear water. This reservoir discharge was impressive, and I wondered if I could make up for my lost carp down here.
What are you doing, Carl?
Gonna get the carp rods out.
underneath the dam.
Any fish in this sort of current would be sure to pull back a bit, and whilst my friends decided to rig up for sturgeon, I was happy trying to get myself a river carp, something we don't catch too often in England. It didn't take too long, and whilst watching the sun slowly set in the sky, I hooked into a fish.
After the struggles up on the lake, it's quite nice to catch some fish. And I got 2 at once. Maybe it was worth leaving the lake after all. It was a little bit of a heartbreaker up there, but the day has ended well.
Austin had got talking to a local angler who gifted us some bait. He also explained that sometimes people hook huge fish in this river, and it's not just sturgeon that reside in the deep, powerful flow.
Are you happy with your sturgeon rod placement?
I don't know yet. We're gonna find out soon.
May I ask why you have a headlamp on currently?
Why do you guys care about that so much?
Sorry, I was just being annoying, that's all. No, it looks kind of stylish.
Yeah, it's a good look, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest, but there's no way it's that quick to be a sturgeon.
Yeah. That looks
might
like
be on.
Yeah.
That's on.
Austin's had a bite on the sturgeon rod.
It could be a cat. It could very well be a catfish. He's holding bottom pretty well right here. They are incredibly sharp on their sides and backs. Oh wow! Look at that. All right, that's awesome.
Having not been fussed by sturgeon before, seeing Austin catch one changed my mind completely, and I began setting up some bigger hooks.
Should I hit that? Should I hit that? That I hit. Yeah. I literally just hit a fish.
Do you when you get it right up close, do you want me to take the rod and you hold it? Since yeah, it's definitely bigger than my last one, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a better one. That is a better one.
Okay. I haven't rolled like that in a minute.
You might have something decent on there.
This is actually just not stopping though.
Are you serious?
Boys, I can't do anything.
So did you bring it like most of the way in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it like right here.
Whoa.
Dude, this is a big fish. This is actually a big fish, dude. I didn't realize. I got it almost all the way back in, and I don't think he knew he was hooked. Yeah.
At this point, I think Brian was realizing he was hooked into something incredible.
Oh my God, he's just going and going and going. Dude, this is not good.
Whoa.
I'm really having to put pressure on this fish or I'm never gonna turn him. I'm getting kind of concerned about this.
Watch it.
I have not turned this fish in so long. I have to turn this fish.
It is a long way out. It's so far in the flow.
This is a heavy fish.
It's not looking good.
I cannot, I'm literally burning my fingers.
No.
Oh, I got my hook out. That was a big fish.
Well, that was crazy.
Witnessing Brian's lost battle, I chose to respool my reel with the thickest line I owned, around 100 meters of 50-pound snag leader.
I'm to the right of this.
Yeah.
He go. Are we doubled up? Doubled up on sturgeon. I've never even seen a sturgeon in person. See you, buddy.
Wow. Shame we didn't see the big one, eh?
Yeah, just a bit.
Hmm.
We'll get another one.
And get another one we did just a couple of hours later.
Oh,
Stuff mine was doing.
this is a big fish.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh no! Oh my God. Yeah, that's what mine was happening. It was burning my hand.
Carl, don't get dragged down.
No. What? You literally got pulled across the ground. Look at the skin of it.
That's £50 line.
Yeah, and that sturgeon was £800.
It's halfway to £100 monofilament. Snapped. That's heartbreaking.
Well, we've got lots of bugs in here already.
Oh my god.
Each one of those could have been a chicken.
Returning to the fishing, we got absolutely destroyed by bugs and didn't get any more bites. In the morning, we decided not to fish for sturgeon anymore. Our tackle just wasn't up to scratch, so we drew up another plan. There was one more big lake in the area. This new lake was an absolute mission to access, but eventually we found ourselves getting close to the shore.
Any green wagtail, lesser spotted greenfinches?
Oh, there's one. I love my bird watching. Over here is an irritating tit.
That was the most English thing you could have ever said.
Whilst we'd found an area we liked, there was bad news just around the corner.
That's not good, is it, bro?
No. When you drive 3 hours to go to a new spot and you realise you're not allowed to actually be there, it's pretty devastating.
We have come all the way out here to find a new reservoir, done our research, found the spots, turned up and found that only Native Americans are allowed to be on this land.
A lot of driving and a lot of work for nothing. A lot of nothing.
Never mind. We tried.
We had other options. In the States there's always water to explore, but a part of me wondered if the spawn would be over at Blackfoot. After all, we'd come to fish there in the first place, so we decided to give it one last go. All I wanted now was the memoir, the souvenir. Just like 4 years previous, I wanted to get on that plane home with a photo of me, my brother, and our 3 friends from across the pond. If we could all be holding big mirror carp, then even better. There was just one problem. The first bay we came to was full of cruising carp. They looked to be male fish, quite interested in spawning. We kept looking and found ourselves back in our original spot. Here there were no signs of carp. We just hoped that perhaps some of the larger female fish were hanging around here, avoiding the bays that were full of males. The latter part of our session flew by as we settled back into life in the mountains. It had already been one of the best trips of my life, and as the fish turned up once more, it was about to get even better.
Oh dear.
The final days of our stay delivered Brian and Austin with their best carp of the trip.
Good work, man.
Thanks, dude. I cannot believe it.
Fishing at Blackfoot was incredible, the quality of the fish and the scenery, but the trip would have meant very little having not spent it with my good friends. Before leaving, I switched back to smaller baits, and one afternoon we had a crazy hour where every rod tore off one after the other.
Smile!
This opportunity to fish Blackfoot is something that I'll cherish forever. However, despite the incredible numbers of carp, we hadn't landed any really big ones. A U.S.A. 40 is something of a milestone. And therefore, around 6 months later, I found myself back in America with the goal of catching my first 40-pounder.
You ready for a big adventure?
I am.
Alright, cool, let's get going.
Joining me on this mission was my friend Cal, who'd never visited America before. Sadly, Austin wasn't able to get time off work to come with us, but we agreed to stay in touch throughout the trip and to keep him updated. Well, the long journey has begun. We've just pulled over to use the toilet and then we'll be back on the road. I think we've got about 5 hours left of the drive today. I had very much left the venue choice up to Brian, as he and Austin had explored this new lake in early spring. Whilst they hadn't landed many carp on their first exploratory visit, the lake held potential and the average size looked to be better than anywhere we'd fished before. Of course, their captures were from spring and we were now in late autumn. For sure the fishing would be different, perhaps more challenging, but one thing's for certain, we were all incredibly excited for the coming week.
Like 200 yards into the woods. Yeah. So what do I do? Like, how am I gonna make them leave? Like, I don't want to get out of my truck right now. There's like 4 of them. Here it is, boys. Oh my God, the lake looks incredible.
Oh, there's people fishing there with carp rods.
No way.
Yeah.
That can't be a carp anymore.
I think it is.
Witnessing other people fishing for carp is something we very rarely see in the USA. Surely they must know something about what this lake holds.
Drama already?
Yeah, weigh tripod, 6 rods out on bite alarms. Someone's busted your secret spot.
This is a good spot.
Carp fishing can be a secretive game out here, as there's always bow fishermen looking to track down and kill the exact fish we hope to catch and release. It was quite possible that these anglers wouldn't want us fishing, and especially filming, at their local lake. I decided to talk to them, and to my relief they were approachable and friendly. All they asked was that we don't disclose the location, which of course I respected. With the day passing quickly, we needed to find an area of the lake to target and begin setting up our kit.
There we go. Nice. We'll sit down and figure out how we're going to do it. Set up for you.
Oh, thank you.
And then just,
that's Carl's bank statement.
yeah, okay, there we go.
Oh, no, you didn't set it up properly.
I'm sorry. I think that should hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun and games. Just wait until we figure out a game plan.
Out in the boat, Brian and I were keen to explore. The other anglers were leaving the muddy bank that evening, but we didn't really wish to target that area. I hoped to find fish in one of the smaller bays on this giant lake. This place is mad.
Look behind you, Carl. Actually,
there's a lot of bubbles.
Whoa.
Because I was seeing bubbles like that where we were earlier.
Look at that one.
Really close in. Do one rod length and see how close we get. Sadly, this area was around 30 foot, much deeper than I'd want to fish with the current water temperature.
That's what I mean.
They can't all be carp.
If they are, then we're in for it. We have to know what this is. If they're carp,
There's so many bubbles, man.
if these are carp, dude, this is jokes.
With so much activity in the area, we just needed a shallower plateau to target. Yeah, it is 15 foot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd say here. I say here.
And we just set up on this, or on that bit, or on this bit.
Dude.
We've just got to try and get all the kit here.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, actually getting access to the water is the hardest part, and we are trying to find a road that will bring us close enough to the lake.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Tough Road.
Darkness was just around the corner, and with no access to the bay that we'd found, we decided to stay the night by the car park.
It got dark awfully quick and we didn't manage to find access to the shallow part of the lake where we kind of wanted to fish, where we saw loads of bubbles, so we just parked up in the car park and we're gonna flick rods out just in this big open expanse of water in front of us here. There we go. There's my rods. Oh, I actually can't see anything.
Oh, the GoPro's like...
Why is the... Oh, it's just because it's a GoPro.
It's audio. We're rocking audio right now.
On my way to the spot, Cal's just here. You probably can't see him because it's pitch black, but he's carrying a suitcase a couple of 100 yards across rocks. Yeah, this is fun. This is a great adventure and a fun trip. I love carp fishing. There's nothing carpier though in a video than a nighttime setup.
Oh yeah.
Let's hope they're all still in one piece after the flight. Yeah.
I wouldn't say any of us were particularly confident of catching, but a night by the water would be wasted without baits cast out, so we set about attaching some rigs, making balls of pack bait and casting the rods out at varying distances. With some rods dropped close in and others blasted as far as we could, the chances of stumbling across a good spot were increased. I was excited, and as I lay down to rest, even my exhausted body, drained from travelling the last couple of days, still struggled to fall asleep. I have no idea what time Brian's bite was, but action so soon in the trip was a very positive sign.
Could be off to a good start.
Yeah, this is a decent fish.
It might be long and lean.
It's very long.
I don't think it's fat.
Oh, it's very long. That could be a 30. Or an upper 20 at least. Yeah.
That's a good start if nothing else. Oh wow, that's actually pretty nice.
That's a 30 pounder.
That mid-30 common on the first night came as quite the surprise, but at first light, along came another one.
Morning, Cal. Welcome to America.
So, things are looking up.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Brian's fish assured us that this area does hold carp, and spectacular ones at that.
I'm just getting my rods sorted because after a catfish on both of my rods last night,
So that's excellent, nice.
one thankfully reeled in by Cal, which he seemed very happy about, a new PB. Yeah, I need to get my rods sorted out again. I didn't bother recasting in the night. I was very, very tired after a long flight and a long drive. It was time to get cast in.
Before casting the rods out randomly again, Brian hopped in the boat, aiming to map out the area. Meanwhile, I grabbed a marker float so I could accurately check the depths and for any structure we might be fishing over.
There's a few rocks a bit closer in.
Between the two of us, we worked out that either side of our swim, it dropped off very, very deep. But in between was a shallower plateau ranging from 4 foot near the shore to 18 at the back. Brian began to create a light spread of corn and oats across the area in a line, so we could all fish rods clipped up at the rough depth that his carp had come from. The rest of the first day was quiet, the weather colder than we'd expected for the time of year, and the bleak environment took some getting used to. Sleeping under the stars by the water, out in the elements, is something that I've always loved. The bright night sky making the experience even better. On day 2, after a couple of nights of fishing with no bites, I switched one of my rods over to a pop-up, having previously been fishing with corn.
Don't be a catfish, please don't be a catfish. It was on the pop-up.
If this is a catfish, I'm going to laugh so hard because I said I bet it will be a catfish when you
Oh,
catch.
it's not even. It's.
That's just for banter, Carl. We're recording this just to show the impeccable angling.
Oh goodness me! Look at that. I put a pop-up on to a stiff hinge rig because I thought it avoids bream and tench. Maybe it'll avoid catfish, but obviously not. I think it's safe to say things could be going better.
I clipped up my rods once more, knowing that this session might just need a little more patience than our previous trips. Meanwhile, Brian had decided to stop playing around with the bait and go all in. His plan was to bait really heavily and see if it would draw more fish into our area.
That smells sweet, wherever that is.
It's cracked corn.
Cracked corn.
It's like just basically blended beer corn.
Have fun, Brian. On your adventures.
This tactic was a little risky. If the lake didn't hold the large numbers of carp that we hoped, this mass baiting approach could kill the swim, overfeeding the fish and ruining our chances of getting a bite. That said, I've fished with Brian long enough to trust his judgment on these American waters, and so I helped him by positioning the marker float for him to bait around. Having finished emptying a giant bucket of corn and oats over the spot, Brian returned, asking for more bait.
That's crazy.
That's the bait. Yeah, 25 pounds of this, 25 pounds of that. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
These are cattle cubes that they feed to cattle, and in the water that goes into a bit of a ground bait once it's been down there for a bit. Bye, Brian.
Not only was the heavy baiting starting to seem like overkill, but the weather was taking a turn for the worse too.
Getting cold, boss!
As he returned from the boat with ice-cold hands, I walked back to the van with Brian to get him warmed up, just in time for a massive gust of wind, followed by a distant shout from our camp.
Oh! Oh no! Oh, Cal.
I was just sitting on your bed, and then I didn't have any cover anymore.
Come to America, they said.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Obviously the pegs and stones we'd used before weren't enough. This time I didn't hold back on the piles of rocks around our bivvies.
I hope that doesn't happen again. Did the rods get thrown over as well?
Yeah, they got yeeted, mate.
The rods were flying everywhere. The bivvies went all the way to the trees.
After clearing up the mess of tackle, clothing and rubbish that had blown away in the wind, we found ourselves at 2 p.m, finally ready to cook some breakfast.
Oh, look at us. Camped out here, loving life. Enjoying American culture of fried food.
Fried, yeah. Yeah, it is a classic breakfast.
2:56.
2:56 p.m.
Correct.
That's quite a late breakfast. Brian and Cal have gone into town. I'm not sure where the nearest town or city is, but they've gone to fetch some supplies and they've left me watching the kit and also watching the water. But I haven't seen anything. On my previous trips to the States, it's been pretty obvious where the carp are. They jump and show themselves all the time, but on this trip, it's a little bit different. I don't think I've seen any carp jump the whole time I've been here. I'm gonna keep watching the water though, because just seeing some fish jumping off in the distance could be a good incentive to move and an opportunity to get on them. I'm pretty certain I've hooked a carp now. It is awfully difficult to film and play a carp at the same time. I can't see my screen. I think I'm in the shot. I think this is a carp. It's fought a lot harder than the fish earlier. Yeah, it's got to be a carp, surely. Man, this has been an absolute battle. No! It's a catfish. This is actually getting a little bit frustrating. Heading into the third night of our stay, we were at the halfway point in the session. Whether Brian had made the right choice to bait up heavily was at this point debatable. Until at 4 AM, amongst the mist, he hooked a carp. This is possibly the most atmospheric battle with a carp I have ever experienced.
Oh, it's definitely big. Yes, Carl. Dang! Yeah, it's a nice fish. Wow! Solid.
This broad-backed common was another mid to upper 30, a fish that I'd be over the moon with back home, but the action wasn't done there. Receiving a fast bite on my left-hand rod, I instantly knew this was no catfish. After a long, slow battle, the line went completely solid. I did try to free it in the boat, but was left with nothing but my frayed mainline. I guess you could say I was in a bit of a mood after that. But a change in the weather quickly cheered me up, as the sun brought us some much needed warmth. Morning guys!
Morning!
Are we happy?
Yes.
Because the sun's out.
I'm gonna start layering off now.
Alright, I'll put the camera away before you start stripping. I was on net duties once again that morning, and soon after, in the low October sun, we photographed Brian's catches. With an average size of 35 pounds, these were serious fish. The lost carp that morning was certainly playing on my mind. Could it have been the 40 I've been after all these years? I guess I'll never know.
Nice one, buddy. Heck yeah, man. There you go.
Fishing! Whoop, whoop. It's very cold out here. Very, very cold. And we're heading into another night. Thankfully, we cooked up some really nice food, which warmed the belly and got us ready for the next few hours. You've made crisps. Yeah. Ow, pretty hot. I partly don't want any bites because I really want to stay inside the sleeping bag with my hand warmers, but we did come out here to catch giant American carp. So we'll see what happens during the hours of darkness. What happened was that it rained, non-stop, quite heavily. Heavy enough that I let Brian land his fish on his own that night. I felt a little guilty, but at least I was dry. My hunt for a U.S.A. 40 wasn't quite going to plan. On my other carp fishing sessions in America, I found that pretty much any tactic works, and almost any bait will catch you carp eventually. Brian was doing well with tiger nut hook baits, however he had very few of them left, and since I didn't help him land the fish in the night, I chose not to ask for some. I'd tried fake corn and supple braided rigs. I'd even tried pink pop-ups, but I was still being plagued by catfish. I did have a stiff hinge rig out before with a pink pop-up. That also did some catfish, so I've made the decision to put yellow pop-ups on. These are cell flavor, so that's like a coconutty bait, whereas what I was using before was a squid flavored pop-up. I don't know how much difference that's gonna make, but I know catfish are predatory, and therefore a fishy, meaty smelling bait is very likely to produce cats. Fingers crossed though, that this avoids the catfish and catches the carp. In the middle of an otherwise drab, dull day, Cal got in on the action and with a yellow pop-up on one of his own rigs, managed to hook a carp.
That was the hardest rod of my life.
Bro, that's over 30, I think.
Oh, that is another really nice fish. Just about 30.
33 and a half. Now that I'm looking at it, yeah, that's a really large fish. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's beating my PB a little bit, isn't it? Yeah. Nice job, dude.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna fall.
I'm well happy. Thanks, Carl, for bringing me on this trip.
No worries. Thanks for putting up with me this trip.
That's pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job, Cal.
Thank you.
That is so cool. There's few things better in this world than seeing a good friend catch a personal best.
Congratulations, dude.
And for Cal to smash his PB on his first foreign carp trip was just awesome.
Wow.
A little bit muddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit muddy.
Not too bad.
Nah, no. Don't get stuck or anything. Don't fill the wellies up or anything.
Which is a little unexpected. I mean, we knew it was gonna rain, but didn't think it was gonna snow. I mean, a little cold.
It's feeling like more of a survival trip than a fishing trip, but we're out here doing it and that's what counts. Oh, that's what I'm gonna tell myself anyway. Got any more inspirational quotes?
It's all about being in the moment, you know? Taking nothing but experiences and leaving footsteps.
Oh.
Well, yeah, something along those lines. That's how it goes.
I mean, it's supposed to be footprints because you don't leave footsteps.
Oh yeah, I thought you said footsteps. Footprints.
You butchered it.
And take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints.
Didn't realize how bad I butchered that. Thank you guys.
We're gonna make an English poet out of you eventually.
And that's your rod, mate.
Wait, I'll have the camera now, and you can go run.
Oh, that's a carp. Yeah, that one's definitely going. That's running. I can hear it still going.
Stop. Like, I'm putting pressure on this fish, and it's still going. What is going on? Oh, I think it's come off. Just reeled it into another snag.
that was big. I think it's come off, yeah. It's come off and got into a snag.
Yeah,
That's
off.
definitely gone now. Oh, that hurts. Wait, what the hell?
Are you on again?
I've still got it.
What?
Yeah, what the heck is going on?
What?
Yeah, it must have been like the line must have gone around a stone or something. That was weird.
Large. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
giant. It's like really
Holy
big.
cow.
Really big. It's like actually really big.
Please be as big as I think
I think that looks huge, right?
Wow.
That's big. That's big.
Yes! Yes! What a fish! It's huge, dude!
Look at that one,
it's
dude.
fat.
It's very fat.
Oh!
That's like 40.
That's close to 40, if not 40. What a fish, Carl.
I wasn't sure that this was it, but at that moment it looked bigger than any fish I'd ever seen on the bank in the USA. Around 5 years ago, I watched as my brother landed his PB common from a wild lake in Michigan. The following year, due to being ill, I missed out on a trip to Dale Hollow, where he went and caught an even bigger one. But was this fish on that level? Could it be the 40-pounder I'd been after?
I think that might be it, Carl. That might be a 40. We got a big boy. Or a big girl, I don't know, but it's big.
I think it might be over here.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, it's... I think we might need the tripod for this. Should we go get the tripod? How big is this? Like way over 40?
41.
41 on the nose.
Yeah! You take me to the
yeah,
best
brother.
places.
Yes! Yes!
Oh man, what a fish!
Well, I've been coming out to the United States for about 8 years, and in that time I've been searching out the big one, and there it is, my first US 40. Yes! Oh, what a result. That is an incredible carp, and we've still got time to come. There could be more fish.
With the fishing looking up and a shoal of large fish clearly being in our area, we gave Austin a call to update him. To our surprise, he'd been able to finish work a few days early and was planning on driving to the lake as soon as possible. We topped up the swim with more bait, all of us having a good feeling about these last 2 nights of the trip.
Oh god, it gets like really hot.
Oh, does it?
Obviously.
That's interesting.
It's a nice table you've got there.
It is. It's very effective.
How blunt is your knife at this stage?
Oh, I mean, it didn't start out very sharp to begin with.
With the pressure off, it was time to enjoy one of our favourite bankside meals, fried catfish in toasted breadcrumbs.
I wonder what sort of hygiene rating we'd get if we were a restaurant right now.
0, big fat 0.
Oh, that's sweet. There you go.
First time trying catfish.
Oh, it's good, right? It's even better because you've caught it yourself.
That is more than good, honestly. It could be potentially the best fish I've ever eaten in my life.
It's one of the best fish you've ever caught as well.
Are you sure about that, Carp?
Why have we not been doing this since the first day? That's what I'm asking.
To our surprise, the night passed without a bite. It seemed the fishing was unpredictable, probably due to the temperatures dropping so quickly. We phoned Austin to let him know that catching was definitely not guaranteed, and the 6 or 7 hour drive might not be worth it to just join us for one night. but he'd already left home, eager to get out after a month of working on site. It's so often the way that these big, challenging venues don't give up their secrets easily. I was so relieved to have caught my 40, but now, with the hard part done and the film all but made, I couldn't have imagined what the last night had in store. We passed some time that day lure fishing for bass. Of course, I didn't catch anything, but Cal, on the other hand,
Caught my first smallmouth bass. Yay, I don't know if it's big or small or whatever, but... Whoa!
It's funny how this inhospitable, windswept, muddy lakeside had slowly become our home. We'd been here 6 days now, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. Yes, it was terribly cold at times, but simple things like the sun coming out brought me immense joy.
It's getting cold again.
It's getting cold.
Austin should be here soon too.
Brilliant.
He'll probably just start catching all the fish, which kind of sucks, but other than that, I mean, I'm kind of happy to see him.
Austin arrived that evening with just enough time to get set up before dusk.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I missed out on some of those colder nights.
Welcoming our friend to the camp, we ensured he knew the distance we'd been baiting, and we prepared for our last night at the lake.
Did you know that A stands for Austin?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
I just found out.
Expectations were pretty low, based on the previous 24 hours producing no bites whatsoever, not even any catfish. So instead we focused on enjoying the social and cooking up a proper meal.
Oh! And you're away with a carp!
You don't have to cook anymore!
Well, whether we caught or not the last few days, it's still a good time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty yummy.
It is yummy. Well, I haven't actually eaten it yet, but I think it's gonna be yummy.
As good
You know what this tastes like?
What?
This tastes like the sweet taste of success.
Oh yeah.
Because we caught 10 30s and a 40 pounder.
Oh my gosh.
And to think we were celebrating a single 40 pounder. I guess at that point, we had no idea what this final night would hold.
That's huge. It's in, it's in, it's in, it's in.
It's in. Dude, that could be another 40. Oh my God. Wow. Wow.
Both Brendan and Austin landed their biggest ever fish that night.
42 on the nose, bro. Oh my God. I mean, come on. Look at it now. Like, come on, look at it.
Well done, man.
3 40s for the trip.
The group of us stood together on that cold night, in awe of how well the session had gone. With PBs for myself, Brendan and Austin, you could assume that we'd reel in and get some much needed rest. But as an angler, I couldn't stop. The shoal was on us and the adrenaline flowing. So rods were rebaited, recast, and the alarms kept screaming. When sunrise finally came around, I don't think any of us had slept. Instead, we'd made the absolute most of a night's fishing we might never beat.
Wow, what a fish, dude.
That's massive, Brian.
What a fish.
It excited us hugely to think just how big these fish could be come spring, when the lake had filled back up and more food was available to them. We even believed that to catch the right fish in springtime could well result in breaking the national record carp. And that's why on the 1st of May this year, I found myself ready to return to America.
The trip begins sitting at one of my favourite places, actually.
3 hours early.
Yeah, I love airports so much. We got here about 3.5 hours before our flight.
Whilst we were optimistic of a great trip, our man on the ground, Brian, wasn't doing so well.
I'm blanking. It's very cold. And it's starting to rain again.
I don't like this.
With such poor conditions and no fish for 3 nights, this was going to be a tough trip. Blissfully unaware of the Baltic conditions and lack of bites, we arrived in northeastern USA.
Whoa! Hey! There's our man.
I mean, we can try.
I'll go in.
Upon meeting Brian, he suggested that instead of fishing the northern lake, we make a totally new plan, and one which would include a lengthy drive.
I cannot believe that just happened.
Oh no.
Not good.
It's not looking too great, mate. Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. That couldn't have happened at a worse time.
This trip has gone swimmingly so far.
Hi. I was calling because I had a tire blow just off of Highway 77 at exit 6.
Back in 2018, my brother Alex visited Dale Hollow Lake in Tennessee. However, I was stuck at home in the midst of an illness which lasted almost 5 months. From my bed, I received photos from Alex of scenes and fish captures which looked straight out of paradise. There and then I decided I had to visit Dale Hollow. If I'm honest though, I didn't expect my trip to come about like this.
Yeah, go one going that red and one black one.
Yeah. I'll put subtitles on that.
Yeah, we're gonna get that guy back underneath.
How much do we have to pay you?
Oh, about 500-600.
600?
Yeah.
600.
$1.75.
Thank you.
Alright, cool.
That is absolutely brilliant. I'm glad to get back on the road now.
Although the trip to the potential record Carp Lake had been written off, at least for now, spirits were high as we headed south to Dale Hollow, home to warmer weather and lots of carp.
This is it, Dale Hollow. We are looking at a tiny section of the lake. It's absolutely enormous, but this is the place I've been wanting to fish for many, many years. Just hoping that we can find somewhere to rent a boat of some sort. The waves out on the lake are way too big for Brian's little John boat.
Here's little John.
Our friend John.
With no boats available to rent, we drove west towards the next marina. Taking on Dale without a boat would be hard work.
Second time lucky.
Thankfully, these guys had pontoons available.
It's gonna be times 5, so it'd be $12.50.
Finally, we're here, and I think that's the pontoon we're going to be taking out. Stunning, isn't it?
Very beautiful.
That is quite a nice lake. I feel like I've been here before because I've watched Alex's video from here so many times.
Loading the boat took us a little while, since we had supplies and bait to last us 7 days in the wilderness.
We're actually doing it.
Ooh, let's go! I want a jet, but there's a no wake zone.
Since we had driven a little way to find a boat rental, we were now a fair distance from the area of the lake that we hoped to explore.
I've come up on the top deck to see if I can spot some carp. Haven't seen any yet. I've only got 20,000 acres to try and keep my eyes on.
It wasn't just carp we had to look out for either, but sunken islands and structure too. Echo sounders or GPS with depth markings are essential for anyone who drives a boat at speed on places like this. As it was spring, we wanted to find large, shallow plateaus to fish on, as the carp would likely be there soaking up the sun's warmth.
We need to find an area that's deep enough to beach onto.
The depths were reducing and a number of spits of land extended out into the lake. This area looked perfect.
Fuck off! Maybe I'll go to this street. Now this is where you tie the granny knot. No, it's actually the double clinched sailor's Dale Hollow 30-pound fully scaled knot. Coming off. Oh, this is just gonna be such a beautiful place to spend time. And to think where we were gonna fish would probably have been freezing cold, wet, muddy.
Sleet, snow.
I'm glad we came to Dale. So, where's camp? Not a bad spot, is it? I like it though. Like I've already chosen the backdrops for my cat shots for my 30-pound fully.
It was at this moment a rather pessimistic Brian turned to me and said, "If you catch a 30-pound fully scaled, I'll do a backflip off the top of the boat."
Have I jumped the gun? Oh, this is gonna be the best week of our lives. I just sense it, I feel it. What are you looking for at this time of year, depth-wise?
Between 8 and like 16 foot usually.
Ah, so 10, 12 is gonna be lovely.
Yeah. I remember there were some weeds.
Dropping a little deeper now. Spread it. It's not one of those places where you go gentle and gradually build up, because if you're going to try and stop the fish in your swim here, you need to put in some bait.
We spread our bait in a large area. Imagine a tennis court or perhaps 1/3 of a football pitch.
Alright, we're nearly done with the maize.
As well as maize, we had cattle and horse feed to carpet the lake bed without spending too much money. Baiting up, or chumming as they call it in America, is a massive part of the carp fishing out here. Even if you're on the fish, getting them to notice there's a new food source available is half the challenge.
Yeah, right. You want me to play soccer?
So how long does it take for those carp to actually settle on that bait? Let's be real.
I hope within a day or two.
But sometimes, like when on Alex's trip, it took quite a few days.
Yeah, I mean it can. But yeah, could go either way.
Should we go get our camp? Yeah.
Yes. I'm ready to sleep.
Hey, there's my home for a week. And Cal will be snoring just over there. We're here. Can't believe I'm saying it, but we are finally at Dale Hollow. Feels like days ago when we set off from home. Well, actually, it was days ago. It was certainly a mission to get down to this place. And it won't be long before I got rods out. I'm going to do a bit of feature finding in a minute, but we've got a rough idea whilst we're on the boat of what's in front of us. That's like, you can't even retrieve your line, it's so weedy. Great food for the fish.
To be honest, I didn't realise the area was so weedy. I ended up needing to carefully position rods in the slightly deeper areas to ensure my rigs didn't fall straight into the dense vegetation.
I'm always worried that I'm going to cast out and it's just going to fly off on the cast, so I squeeze it to death just in case.
I don't even have the clip, are you serious?
One more rod to do, and then we're ready for our first night at Dale. And we've heard fish crashing as well, so confidence is definitely up there. First night on a new lake is always so exciting. Brian, did you hear that? Okay, so I caught one. Yeah.
You got one.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a mid-30 fully.
And you're being serious?
I'm being serious. And your rod went as well, but I was just screaming like, Brian, Brian, Brian!
That's what 3 days of no sleep does to you, I guess.
But I mean, Cal was exactly the same.
Wake up either.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to tell you, because I was like, I landed the fish on your rod and I was like, this is cool, but Brian is still just passed out, and so I released it.
I honestly thought you blanked. Well, everyone blanked. I literally was getting up like, okay, that was a nice sleep.
So there it is, my first ever Dale Hollow carp. And just like my brother, 4 or 5 years ago, it's a 30-pound fully scaled. Exactly what I came for. We've got 7 days out here in paradise to get something even more impressive. Goodbye, my friend. Thanks for making me really happy already. How about that, eh, Cal?
That's pretty good. That's a good start.
I think this is going to be a good week. I've got a feeling.
No one's really done it, have they? Like, companies.
The carp fishing brands in England just don't seem to...
Not fast.
And the logistics of doing it is difficult, because you've got to get all the tackle over.
Yeah. Well, there's just not, I mean, like, I don't know how many anglers are in South Africa, but there's just not that many carp, like, dedicated, highly...
There's probably more.
In South Africa? Yeah.
The main reason the brands don't come here, I think, is because they're not going to see return on investment.
Yeah.
Because there aren't enough American carp anglers to sell to. Yeah, if there's nice fish and wild places where you can sit and just do this and no one's coming along to bother you, I like it for that reason.
But the fishing is also amazing.
At around midday, I decided to recast, only to find one of my rods was snagged.
Okay.
Oh no, my rod. Bye, Carl. Whoa! You can't ever go on a shoot and not get wet feet.
It just happens to me. I don't know why or how, it just does.
It only made sense to bait up again whilst out in the boat, especially after catching fish so soon.
Alright, cool. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to hit it that hard.
After Brian tried to jettison me from the craft, I decided to take control of the ship.
I am the captain now. Oh, let's go, baby, let's go! Nice. Good?
This time we'd thought ahead and thrown marker floats to the specific areas we were fishing, either side of the plateau.
Oh yes, much more accurate than we managed in the wind yesterday.
Yeah, like, those floats are exactly where our rods are.
And I climb up here and see how it looks up here. Because I owe somebody a damn backflip off this thing. It's really high too.
You can turn the motor completely off now. What?
Your GoPros are really enjoying.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean,
it's a nice angle.
This was our first full day at Dale, and a chance for us all to get rods set just right and organise the camp, as Brendan would be joining us that afternoon. Clipping up our lines and using distance sticks enabled us to drop our balls of pack bait right in amongst the feed that we'd introduced from the boat previously. That was beautiful. Ryan is now fishing, rods are out, camp is set up, and the sun is shining. Life is good. Whilst I was a little concerned that the crashing fish and line bites had stopped completely, Brian assured me that it's very normal for daytime to be quiet at Dale, with all the fish waking up as the light levels drop. Today has been peaceful. That's the way I'd like to describe it. It's been quiet on the fishing front. I haven't seen any fish show since this morning, but I haven't exactly been watching the water all that much. Mostly just been chilling out, having some food with the boys and relaxing. I've actually quite enjoyed watching the dancing shadows on the canvas of my bivvy. That afternoon, Brian returned with Brendan on board. We'd hoped that the full team could meet on this trip, and we were nearly there, but Austin and also Alex had to work this time around. I think it's time to recast. Nothing has happened all day, other than Brendan arriving. He's getting his rods out at the moment, but I'm gonna reset mine. Fresh bait on the rig, some fresh balls of packed bait, so I'm introducing some food to the swim. And I've just realised my pop-up is missing on that, which could well be the turtles. Turtles can be a pain. They certainly like to nibble your bait off. Tiger nuts are quite resilient though, but the pop-ups are long gone.
I already have Brian's guides for this.
Let's hope it goes. Lovely. The bonus rod is gone. Okay, so I put out a fourth rod, which is something I don't do very often because most places you're not allowed. Me and Brendan are over there, but I put this one right out onto the plateau in front of the fallen tree here. And it's gone off in the daytime. Wow. What a place. The sun is setting, I'm at Dale Hollow Reservoir and I'm playing a fully scaled mirror. Oh! No! Oh, he's gone. I should have just put it on the mat. That's silly. That better be the first of many. If that's the only one, I'm gonna be livid. I wasn't too worried, as we got the feeling there would be plenty more where that came from. Daytime runs are a very positive sign that there's fish in the area, and come dusk, it could kick off.
That was a good fish. Did anybody else see that?
No.
Dude, I watched that top to bottom, bro, come out. Like, I didn't see the actual bottom of it, but I saw a lot of fish without seeing the bottom.
Right, my prediction is the next one is going to jump in line with where it goes level on the horizon, and then it just steps up.
Yeah, what, on that corner bit?
Yeah, on that little corner where it steps up, that's where the next fish is going to jump.
Okay. I'm going to go for the house.
You think the next fish is going to jump on that? Okay, in line with the house.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
I'm going to be so wrong and be like all the way over here. Bro. No. I literally said it would be over there. And it was so far right. Why did I not say that?
Oh man, there's carp jumping that shallow around there. Wow, they really are everywhere.
Oh, that's insane. Is that the same rod?
Yeah, it's the one I redid.
Wow.
Common, I think.
A fully.
Cool looking fully, actually.
Wow. Man.
3 for 3. All spawned up.
Don't let this one go, Carl.
Oh no, I just got water in there.
Oh, Brian's got wet. We've landed a carp. Check that out. One of the main reasons people come to this lake is for the absolutely incredible fully scales. They're just so unique. For some reason, these fullies look like no other mirrors in the world, really. And come night, we truly realise why this lake is such a destination for carp anglers.
That's going.
Yes, there was the odd smaller fish, but it looked like we'd sleep very little as a huge shoal of carp settled on our bait.
Oh my god, there's some bugs around.
That was a lot of bugs.
Oh, they're all going on me.
In the early hours of the morning, as the bite slowed down, we thought the bait might have been wiped out, so I picked up the spawn rod and introduced a load more maize to our area. Around 3 AM I decided I should probably reel in and get some sleep, but given that I might never get to return to this lake, I decided to run with it and make the most.
Dude, he's going. He might be decent. That is very large.
Easy 30.
My
that
God.
might be 40.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting bigger the more I look at it.
Oh my gosh, boys.
That's my biggest left on for sure.
Dude, look how deep he is.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's 40 on the nose. It's literally 40-0. It's literally 40-0.
No.
Yes!
How?
You gotta come look at this. Or
Again?
else no one will believe us.
You've done it again.
On a previous trip to Dale, whilst fishing with his dad, Brian landed his long-standing PB of 44 pounds. Brian used to fish with his dad a lot. In fact, it was he who taught him fishing in the first place.
Wow, it just keeps getting better. This scenery is just spectacular. I don't even know what else to say.
However, when Brian's dad passed away from a sudden illness in 2017, we worried that his love for fishing might pass too. But to wake up on this beautiful dawn next to the lake they shared such memorable times, it only felt right that we were blessed with a morning's fishing we'll never forget.
Look at that. Such unique fish, aren't they? Oh, wow. Pretty decent commons, you might say.
See you later.
Brendan, you're gonna have to Here we go. That is the sort of fish we're looking for. Brendan's in.
Whilst driving down to Dale, all I had in mind was Alex's incredible 2-week session in 2018. But this was crazy, and we'd experienced even more bites from the off. On Alex's trip, he managed to land his second 40-pound U.S.A. common, but at Dale, 40-pounders are actually quite rare, compared to other waters like the lake we'd originally intended to fish on this trip. As Brian released his prize common, I wondered how things would have worked out if we'd fished the northern lake, where we'd be targeting fish far larger than this, potentially US record breakers. However, we were here now, the fishing was great, and my mind quickly turned to breakfast.
It's been so long since I've actually done this kind of fishing.
Oh, you're in already? Oh my god!
Yeah, look at right there.
Nice.
That guy, he's a bit too small though to eat.
If we could catch a handful of slightly larger sunfish, it would make a delicious breakfast. To be honest, I gave up fairly quickly and suggested that we do eggs and bacon instead.
Or we could have just waited. That's a decent one.
It was, however, just one, and we had 4 hungry boys to feed. Another beautiful morning at Dale Hollow. How's the cooking going?
Oh, God! Oh my gosh, what was that? Hey, safety glasses, I told you. Cooking's a dangerous hobby, you know?
I'm trying to figure out ways in which life could be any better. And I'm stumped. Austin, we miss you. If you're out there listening. I love it how you're multitasking, double plates.
I don't like my food mixing really.
I'm yet to see the backflip.
I know. Today's the day for it.
Is it actually?
Is it?
It could be.
Just don't hurt yourself because we're
nice.
we're a long way from any hospitals.
Well, we're gonna go baiting, so maybe
Baiting and backflipping.
bait and backflip same time.
I think for you it might not be as fun.
No, I'm gonna have fun. What are you talking about?
Jumping off the rails.
You're gonna do a perfect backflip because of your bet.
Yeah.
We are gonna bait up the spots again, but at the same time, the guys want to go swimming.
Based off last night's success, we confidently filled it in again, with roughly 20 kilos of mixed particles.
Is that cold?
No.
Go on, Brian. That looked painful.
Here, I'll try it. Yeah.
You did a good one though.
Oh wow, look at the dive.
That was smooth.
So I was halfway through changing. Just ripped off.
Is there a shoe on that foot?
There is.
It's worse when you get a run whilst you're actually peeing.
This is a good one. Feels heavy.
Yay!
Bit of a rare one for here. There's lots of mirrors and fullies, but not really ones like this. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Nice colours on that thing as well.
Oh, look at that.
We'd all got a bit distracted by having fun and had kind of written off the chance of daytime action, but Brendan's bite out of nowhere got me excited.
And it's looking like maybe I need to get these rods back out. I tied up a few rigs, pop-ups, or a slither of a pop-up on top of a tiger nut. This is just the setup that I've seen these guys using loads. It's a great success over the years on these trips. I think the buoyancy of that half pop-up means that when the fish are feeding on the breadcrumbs, that bait zooms up into their mouth that little bit easier than it would be if it was just a straight bottom bait. The supple, short braided hair rig just tucks into the ball of pack bait nice and easy as well.
Whilst Cal had fished the night before, his rod had been suspiciously quiet.
Are you kidding me? I think I've been turtled again.
Once you've popped it up, are you going to go spot over the top?
No, I'm not.
Well, what's the point in putting it out?
I'm gonna go swim and put my bait over the top.
Oh!
Pull down the mine, catch 40 pounder.
What's your baiting up method?
Usually from land or a vessel.
I'm gonna cast out and probably do a couple of spods over the top.
What's that?
I'm just gonna couple of spods over the top.
Yeah, amateur.
I may have joked about Cal's unusual bait up tactics, but genuinely did want his efforts to pay off.
Brian was looking for worms. Didn't find any worms.
Oh, salamander.
It's so cute.
The newt whisperer. Wait, the salamander whisperer.
The unidentified, wriggly, cute animal. Brian always finds the little creatures. Normally they're snakes though.
Yeah, I just love creepy crawlies. Except for bugs. I don't really like bugs that much.
While settling into our session at Dale Hollow, I had no idea that one of the most intense angling experiences of my life was just around the corner. But here I was, oblivious to the past and future, just enjoying time with my friends.
Find your stone.
Find my stone? Oh no, that sounded like a opening theme to a game. Find your stone.
It is the opening theme to a game.
What's the game called?
Skimming.
Ooh, here comes Big Dog to show us how it's done.
He's not taking it seriously at all. 1, 2, 3. 3 splashes.
I get some practice rounds.
No, you got 3 splashes to beat. Straight in, Callan Webb. Where did it go?
That was 10.
This is great, isn't it? Straight away we're kids again.
It keeps curving.
He bent it like Beckham.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that means, but actually I'm pretty hip with soccer actually.
It's football.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, that was yeah, that you've won.
All right, bring on the carp tonight. I don't really know what lures people use for bass at this time of year. There's these little things, but I don't know how deep they dive.
With skimming completed, I now wanted to catch one of the giant bass we'd heard hunting the night before.
Oh! Why did that feel so much like a fish? It pulled round, man.
Yeah, totally. You know when you said you had a bite earlier?
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe you didn't help.
No, I don't think I did. I think I just rolled it straight into a log. Another log. Just another big boulder or something. Cast well, doesn't it, with this thin braid? Who's gonna get one first, Brendan?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Not too sure about that.
It's not gonna be me, because all I can catch is lumps of wood.
We'll find out.
Cal had found a small creek which held a large bass. However, he'd lost it on 3 separate occasions as it shook the hook.
Oh yeah. Whee! Oh, that's kind of cute. Cutie.
I asked if I could try for this bass and carefully made a cast towards where Cal had seen it last.
Uh-oh, fish. Oh, wow, look at him. Go on, Cal, you can do it. Get him. Way! Oh,
That's the one I was trying to get.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
Yeah. We need a Carl and Cal bass selfie.
I got 3 pounds.
Walking down the bank, I turned my attentions back to carp. The previous night was so hectic, and I couldn't wait for more screaming alarms and nighttime battles with big fullies.
Now, where are those carp at? It's been quiet this evening.
It's been quiet.
Like every other evening, there's been fish crashing, and other than like the bass and the bait fish, it is really quiet this evening.
The lack of fish activity in the swim led us to think something might have changed. It was springtime after all, and spawning could happen at any moment.
My only thought as to why this might be slowing down is we're getting more and more fish following our...
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, spawning.
More, yeah, no, seriously.
They might be getting close.
Yeah.
Like, actually pretty damn close.
Another night at Dale Hollow has passed. Sunrise is just around the corner. It's probably going to be spectacular, as they always are, but the fishing last night, not so spectacular. I'm tired because we woke up a few times for indications on the rods, but no actual bites.
4 AM pack bait mix.
Strange to know that there's so many thousands of fish out in front of you, but they're just not feeding on your bait.
The following 2 days had us stumped. We received no bites other than a couple of catfish, and the carp just seemed to disappear. All I could think about was the northern lake and what we could be missing out on if the water had warmed enough up there.
It just doesn't make any sense to sit here any longer. I don't think they're going to show up. We're going to be out of here by 10. If we get to that lake, get rods out, fish for 1 night before the flight, and catch something beautiful,
Yeah, like
just
right
some
before.
mega common, I will be ecstatic.
Yeah.
I think it's got stuck. We have a snake that's got stuck in our net somehow.
If I can just slide this up to a skinnier section of his body, maybe we can slide his whole body slowly out.
Why are you touching it?
He's a lot braver than us.
Is it poisonous? Venomous?
Eager to go. He's eager to take off.
Let's not get
It's a good snake. I think it's a, it's a water snake.
Job done. And so what needs doing in here? Is there,
Bivvy's down everywhere.
Bless you. Whose is that?
You.
Oh, Cal! That was a good bite. I really filled my wellies this time. That's karma, that is.
We'd just experienced a dream session at a magical venue, but I'd originally come out here to catch a monster, and this was going to be our big chance to do exactly that. If we were to make a success of the northern mission, we'd need to get a move on and buy ourselves enough time to locate the fish. This meal has got to sustain us now for many, many hours.
Driving.
Well, it's got to sustain you. I'm just going to sleep.
Yeah, probably.
Sleep was something I didn't manage to do. Eager to get fishing as soon as possible, we stopped in a car park close to the lake at around 2 a.m. and flicked rods out into the darkness.
I'd be happy with a bite from anything, I think. But one of those massive long commons would be the one.
Of course, the rushed setup and no chance to find a fish resulted in a blank. However, we had one more night to make something happen. And at breakfast, I had a proposal for Brian.
Well, if you think about the number of times you've provided me with completely invaluable advice, locations, spots, I couldn't have done any of these trips without you and the boys. So if you guys...
I decided to plan and host a big European road trip for Brian, Austin, and Brendan.
Wow, that would be amazing. I've wanted to travel to England for a long time, dude. I would love to do it so much. And I know Austin feels the same way.
Motivated by the thought of our next big adventure, we got focused and packed away. We needed to search elsewhere, as we'd not seen any signs of carp in this area.
I mean, I'm gonna have 2 months off this for
Oh, wicked. Okay, so if I said I'd pay for your flights and we do the trip in England instead, what do you reckon?
I mean, I can't turn that down. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I mean, that would be incredible, man. I mean, we would really appreciate that. That would be cool.
I think it's well deserved after all these years, so yeah, I look forward to it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go catch some carp.
This place looks so different to how it was when we were here last. Do you remember? Just the big muddy...
I wouldn't recognise it if you just dropped me here.
Yeah, it's not the same place.
Not at all.
And the water's lovely and clear. We've got a sandy, grassy, weedy area in front of us. There's all sorts of features to cast to. And I like the look of the trees over to the right. It looks quite shallow there. I'm still going to put a rod over in that area, I think. Here you go, bud.
Thanks, bro.
Did you just say brub? You're a proper English boy now. It does feel a little bit like we've arrived in England, actually.
I know.
Certainly got the right weather for it. I'm going to start with a rod over here by these trees, I think. Well, it might be wet and horrible, but it's whilst I'm out doing this, I'm at my most happiest. It's just me, water, fish, nature, and over there, my good friends. I don't know. I think I just really love fishing. Hi, Brian. So you say it's the lake is flooded?
Might be a touch high.
You reckon? I'm not so sure.
I think it couldn't go much higher, actually.
Have you had much rain in this area lately?
We may have had a drop or two.
I've got to run. I've got to run. I've got a bite. I've got a bite. No.
That still shows that they're more active than the last time.
Really?
It does so.
I was so hyped. I hooked into it, just mind blown. Oh, catfish.
Catfish can certainly disrupt your carp fishing, but the presence of cats doesn't mean that the target species wouldn't be in the area too.
He's gonna run into those.
Oh my god. He's anchoring.
Oh my god.
Did you see the anchor come down on the front?
There's a million acres that way.
I think the funniest thing is that I just put another rod out there because that's the spot that I want to target. Freshly dropped that out, baited lightly over the top, and now there's a yacht anchored exactly where the rig is. Brilliant.
Turns out he's just staying there for the night.
Yeah, actually, he's just gonna stay.
Nothing happened that night, and morning was quiet too. Our flight was a matter of hours away, and so I reluctantly began loading the van and tidying my gear. With such heavy rain, we took to draining our swim in an unusual way. However, whilst delaying our pack down and messing around, fish had turned up on my bait.
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh no. Oh no. It's running. He's gone right underneath the snag. Please don't come off.
Carl's got a fish snagged. We don't know if it's a carp or not, but we need the boat pretty quickly.
This is so bad. I'm out of my depth.
There's no way a cat did that to you.
Hey,
That has to be carp.
it's gone right round the corner as well. You good? You sure? Thanks, boss. Let's go. I so hope it's still on. Cool, I've got my chest cam going. Cal, you jump in.
Yeah.
Please, I am begging you to be still on. Oh, he's gone in there.
Oh my god.
Okay, something's moving.
Yeah.
Oh, is he out? Okay, Cal.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try pulling the tree out. As hard as you can, row backwards. Just pull back as...
All on your right hand side, Cal. All on your right hand side.
Wow.
Oh, he's all over there. Yeah, keep coming forwards until we catch up with it. It's taking line, but I can't reach the snag that it's under. It's so far down. Like it's deeper than the rod, deep, and it's underneath that tree. The thing is that line could break at any moment. Oh, guys, that's the first bit of actual proper
progress.
gaining.
Bro, imagine if we land this and it's a 45 pound.
Oh, I might have it. I've got it.
Oh.
I've got it on the other side.
Nice.
I've got the second side.
That's good.
It's now under something else.
That's really good.
He's gone way further than we thought. Same as before.
Don't give up, let's do this.
Guys, there's still a fish. I can feel it. I'm gaining. Oh, it's running. Oh my god.
You got it.
Let it go.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it's free. Just give him way. No. What's the motto? Keep calm and carry on. And carry on, I did. Click the video on screen now to see how things unfold when I return for redemption.